What if you have a laptop that is 8 years old and doesn't meet the minimum requirements given by Microsoft? Can it run Windows 11? Hey everyone, hope you're all doing okay. This is Roguehat and welcome to the complete tutorial of Windows 11. In this video, you will find everything that you need to know about Windows 11. This is a detailed video with included timestamp, so feel free to go to your desired section. But I do recommend watching the entire video if you want to understand every bit and nuance of this OS. According to Microsoft, these are the minimum specifications for Windows 11, instructions on how to bypass these specifications later in the video. In fact, I will tell you 4 different ways to do that, and a workaround for really low-end PCs, and I mean potatoes. So without further ado, let's get started. As we know by now, Microsoft along with the minimum specifications requires TPM Trusted Platform Module 2.0 or later and Secure Boot to be present in order to install Windows 11. This is a new initiative by Microsoft to make Windows more secure, just to add a little to their value proposition in terms of competing with Apple in the security department. You need a DirectX 12 compatible GPU. This doesn't have to be a dedicated one, but relatively newer architecture will do. 4 GB of RAM and dual core processor. One thing that I'm really grateful for is that this OS has not increased a ton in size. It's still relatively the same size as Windows 10. In my personal opinion, Secure Boot and TPM can make the systems more secure only in appropriate workloads. You can still make it a lot more secure by just using efficient software policies. There are a ton of changes that come with Windows 11 and there are going to be a lot more, but here are the ones that I personally noticed. I have updated from the dev build to the insider build and what I said came true. New dialog box. So this is our new dialog box, and if you go into show in more options, then we get this these other options. One thing that I don't like about this is there's no paste option, there's no copy or paste options in the default dialog box. I have to do one more step and go into show more options to get that. I think it's really counterintuitive, and I hope in the final build this is nowhere to be found. And this is a new start menu, a new taskbar, a new start menu. There's also an option to snap windows in place, so if I hover over it, it's going to give me a pre-configured layout to snap it in place. Because this is an insider dev build, this option is not available right now, but you will have that option in the final build. There's also a new lock screen and new settings, so if I go in here and go into settings, so this is a new settings. It is way more categorized and looks a lot cleaner. These are our categories, and if you go into Bluetooth and devices, there are new options added in here. Your phone is in here now, and in accessibility we have a lot more options, which is nice to see. There's also new options in here. So the File Explorer has new options. Animations are a lot smoother now. When you minimize or maximize, or when launching an application, it just feels a lot snappier. Not to mention every dialog box is well rounded for optimized aesthetic. There is a new start menu which is streamlined and centralized, and you can move it to the left if you want. When an application is on standby like this, it just looks like Mac OS, and I think rightfully so, because they need those existing Mac OS users to convert to Windows users. We have HDR support right out of the box, but your monitor needs to support HDR, and when you plug out your monitor, it will remember your pre-configured layout, which is an amazing feature. In Windows Update, you can now get your basic softwares and desired drivers. It was present in the later revisions of Windows 10, but from this revision, all the bugs are phased out and you're going to get latest softwares and drivers. So if you go into settings, and I'm just going to go into Windows Update. So there's new animation and it's just revamped, so looks nicer in my opinion. And it also tells you the estimated time it's going to take to update your computer. So it's going to say 5 minutes or 10 minutes depending on the update and the size. There's also an option which was available in Power Toys, but now it's in official Windows. It's the ability to snap different windows in place. which is going to make you more productive. From task view, you can add a new desktop, and that desktop is going to have an entirely different theme for that particular desktop. You can choose something else completely. Microsoft insists that you sign in with your online account when setting up, but you can choose an offline account. I would recommend using an online account because now Windows Defender is effectively connected with your account, and if you don't want to compromise on security, it is recommended. There are new icons and sounds when you plug in out the USB, adjust the volume, and for errors and for Windows launch. So if I search in here sounds, so it's gonna say change system sounds, and I'm just gonna show you some samples. So these are some of the prompts sound. Most of the changes are under the hood, but your hardware will only be able to take advantage of it if it's relatively new. There is a workaround, but I digress. It adapts to your usage, which is a fancy term of saying that these icons will be spaced out and there will be a bigger touch surface area. This feature has been available in Surface Pros for the longest time, but glad to see Microsoft putting it in the OS. There's also support for DirectX Ultimate. You can upgrade for free from Windows 10 to Windows 11. It's just like Windows 10. When Windows 10 came out, we were able to upgrade it for free. There are a few exceptions, but you can find more about that on the Microsoft page. My biggest complaint regarding Windows 11 is that they still haven't merged their settings and portal. Let's say I want to uninstall something, I can go into settings and do that, but then I have to go into programs and features to actually see what's installed on my computer to see the complete list of programs. So I have to perform an additional step, which is completely unnecessary. I have the settings and the control panel. Now there is some good news. From what I've learned, the developer builds so far are mostly the changes that are under the hood. It should give you performance enhancements. There is going to be a standalone update coming in early 2022 or late 2021, which is going to include even more drastic UI elements. There are going to be more well-rounded corners, Windows tabs, and more transparent and translucent elements. These will be added alongside the other changes that are already here. Rumor is that settings and control panel will be streamlined, but I don't have a credible source regarding this specific one, so take this with a grain of salt. This section specifically is why I made this video. To get around the TPM and secure boot problem, the easiest way is to download Windows 10 ISO. Any version would do. This specific workaround was posted on LTT forum, so kudos to the member who found this workaround. What you want to do is make a bootable USB using Windows 11 ISO on Rufus. So if I open up Rufus, you can just do that from here, and then all the settings are going to be default. After you're done, just go into your sources folder. So let's say I've made a Windows 11 ISO, so I'm just going to go into this and in my sources folder. So what I want to do is delete all these files. So I want to delete all the files in the sources folder except the install.wim. So except this one, I want to delete all of these files. So install WIM Windows Installation Manager, and what I want to do is replace all these files with the Windows 10 ISO. So what you need to do, open up Windows 10 ISO, copy all the files from the sources folder into this folder except for the install.wim, and you should be good to go. You should get around the problem. This is the easiest and by far the most convenient workaround, but there are specific areas where this workaround might not work. The second workaround is to install it using Rufus. So let's say this is a Rufus window. We can just select that USB, and after selecting the ISO, it's gonna give us two options: install it on standard Windows installation or Windows to go. We're just gonna select Windows to go, and it will install the actual Windows onto the USB, so we can boot from that and just run the entire Windows on USB. So the third workaround is to actually copy all the USB files into a separate partition and boot from there. But for this method, you have to add a manual boot entry, which you can do it in the BIOS. Fourth method is to use Windows to go, Win2Go, which is a very lightweight software, and you can install the Windows while you're using just while you're inside using the Windows, so you can just install it using the software. After installing, you can remove Windows 10 if you want. Win2go software method is a little bit prone to errors, so just watch out when installing drivers. Okay, so if you have a really low-end PC and you still want to install Windows 11, there is a workaround. What you're gonna want to do is install Windows 11 using the above method, but for Windows 11 ISO installation, we want a custom made ISO by LDR. You can just grab that from the link below and consider supporting the developer. Also keep an eye out for the Ghost Spectre revision. It's not out yet, but that will be even more lightweight. Link will be in the description. This revision has removed some of the unnecessary features and it is even more optimized. You can still use bare essentials and in most cases you can't even tell the difference. Hopefully that helps. This is a bit tricky. Right now there are a lot of bugs in the developer build, but if you don't want to push it to its max, you won't notice them. For example, the Bluetooth keeps reconnecting and disconnecting, and I was just clicking here and it wasn't letting me, so I had to restart. So there are a lot of bugs that they need to phase out. This is a new revamped notification center, and you can just edit that and add new options if you want. So it's gonna be even more polished in the final build. Windows 11 will be available this holiday season. If you want to install Windows 11 right now, please install it alongside Windows 10. I have noticed that in the update section, most of the backend code is from Windows 10. I would recommend to wait for that standalone update before making it your mainstream OS, but depending on your workload and type, you might want to install it as soon as it comes out. For my next project, who wants to see a Hexa boot setup on a low-end laptop? That means 6 OSs: Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 11, Mac OS Catalina, Kali Linux, and Ubuntu, all booting from the same laptop. Let me know in the comments below. I hope this video helped, especially for those like me who can't wait to install the new OS. That brings us to the end of this video. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys later.